Krita is an amazing free software for image and animation editing. It has lots of features and many artists prefer to use it instead of working with proprietary formats like PSD. It would be great if you could use Krita's .kra and .krz formats directly in Unity, right? With KRasterImporter, you can. It's extremely easy. Here's how it works. Firstly, acquire the plugin and install it in Unity, link in the description. Note that it's installed in the Packages folder, so if you need to remove it, it can be found in the Package Manager. Any Krita and .aura files in your project will be recognized as assets and auto-import. Previews appear after a while. Nothing is imported by default, but you can multi-select assets and apply the import options to all at once. Internal mode works out of the box for simple images, static, LDR, sRGB, and PNG generation. It doesn't need Krita installed on your machine. The Import Image option makes textures and sprites as sub-assets. Most import settings are similar to Unity's, but there's a few additional conveniences too. Generate an external image file to use all features from Unity's built-in texture importer. The default path pattern puts the file next to the source image. Both methods will automatically re-import whenever the source image changes, including updating or recreating the generated file. If Krita is installed, go to Preferences to get full compatibility. Confirm the path to the executable and enable Krita. It will only be called to handle advanced conversions, animations, HDR, color spaces, and to formats other than PNG. Krita repeats its last used exportation settings for each target format when called from Unity. If you forget this, you may get unexpected results. Make sure Krita's export options will always include transparency and flatten the image, especially for PNG and EXR. After you export any image from Krita with the correct settings, these are remembered. So re-import the images from Unity to fix them. Note that Krita doesn't currently support multiple instances running. This can cause Unity to wait forever during importations that call Krita. If this happens, you'll likely need to close Krita to unfreeze Unity's importation job. But this won't be needed in most cases, since Krita is only called when necessary. The animation exporter generates an image file for each frame. The default path pattern groups the results under the same folder. You can manually convert images directly from Unity using Krita. Right-click Assets to quickly convert the selection to files on the same folder. This is useful to convert many formats that are not supported by Unity to PNG or EXR for importation. You can also do this to conveniently generate Krita files for editing. An advanced tool for these one-time batch conversions can also be found on the Assets menu. The default pattern generates images next to the original, changing just the extension. Select a format that Krita can export to. The first ones are also supported in Unity. Tags help you decide based on the purpose and disadvantages of the format. Add one or more image paths to the list from the selection or by browsing. You can pick any image file that Krita can open. You can also use glob wildcards. Picking a folder will add a glob pattern to recursively include all subfiles and subpaths. A glob without a specific extension will only match supported files that are different from the desired format. When done, click the button to convert. If you use globs, you might also want to simulate first, to just log which files would be converted. You can use path patterns for better organization of the generated files. For example, you might want separate top-level folders for the source images and their target files. Here we change the dir parameter, which corresponds to the source animations folder, putting the generated results in another folder next to it, which we're calling animations. Path patterns are very flexible once you understand them. In this example, Krita source images are generating their PNG or EXR files in the parent directory, maintaining the folder structure. This means the folders, cube maps, sprites, and textures will have top-level equivalents for the resulting images. Then you can use Unity's built-in importer on the results as normal. For an even more efficient workflow, you can apply one of the included presets, or make your own, for specific folders. If you make full use of presets, you can even get zero-click fully automatic importation. Then, by simply dragging the source Krita images into the project, you can auto-apply the correct settings for not only the source images themselves, whether it's sub-asset importation or file generation, but also for the textures and sprites they generate as separate files. By having a well-organized structure and learning to use path patterns and presets, you can make good use of this Unity feature, which works remarkably well with this plugin. This is a high-quality product, designed to be intuitive and productive. It's fully documented in the online wiki and in editor tooltips. It's also thoroughly tested. It works fully offline in editor, respecting your privacy, and won't add any code to your builds. This plugin is a must if you use both Krita and Unity. It can greatly simplify your workflow and make you save precious development time. It also allows your artists to avoid having to pay for proprietary software when there's very good free alternatives like Krita. Free your artists. Get KRasterImporter today.